Yes. We got overlapping stuff. That's probably fun to listen to. Yes. Yes. Flex. Flex. Yurt. Yeet. Skeet. Skeet. Alright. Let's talk about it. It's Thursday night football. You know, just when I get like missing football, like, I wish I had football. Football comes back into my life. People don't like Thursday night football, but I tell you what, since the NFL had to sell this new Thursday night package this season, they had to make it juicy. They had to make it appealing so they could sell it for $1 billion. And oh boy, is it juicy. I was down for Browns-Jets. I was very excited for Browns-Jets. This game, ooh, baby, this game. We're talking NFC Championship-ish this game. What's going on, guys? Rick Rosen hanging with you till 8 o'clock. It's a 2-hour live stream on the Boom Fantasy app talking about Vikings-Rams. You see the contest to my left, my right, your left. That's the millionaire contest. You get all 8 of these questions right, you win $1 million, bruh. All right, so that's going to keep rotating. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. Let me know in the chat that I'm opening for the first time. Hello, chat. Hello, chat. But yeah, we got a nice little schedule today, right? We covered tonight's game, and we talk about potential Super Bowl, right? Because if you ask me the Super Bowl right now, it wouldn't even be close. I instantly know who's playing in the Super Bowl. I might want to just go to the bookie and ask about that prop, specific Super Bowl matchup prop. I'm sure it doesn't even have good odds anymore, right? I had people betting under Chiefs wins. There are people actually down on the Chiefs. What a thing that could be. What a thing that could be. But that's what we're looking at as far as Super Bowl matchups. Sorry? Dude, there's politics going on today. Today's a day in American history. I'm having a rough time. I'm having a rough time. I'm going to keep the stream up on my side, a side stream, because you can't watch a stream in another stream. Everyone knows that. Right? So I want to watch this Kavanaugh thing. I want to hear this idiot talk more. I don't care what you have to say politically wise. This is crazy stuff. And I'm watching the Washington Post Twitch channel, which I think is really interesting. And the chat is actually like civil. Like it's not like there's no vitriol, there's no anger in the chat, which is nice. They're talking about The Last of Us right now because it's, you know, it's Twitch, so there's a nice little crossover. Because the angriest people who are just on Twitter to be angry and get in fights, they don't know how to use Twitch. They don't know what Twitch is. So this Washington Post Twitch feed is like a nice little pocket of internet, and that's what we are too. By the way, that's what the show is. This is a nice little pocket of internet, right? I was going to say safe space. That was my reaction. I don't want to call it that. That's a horrible word. Let's keep it going. Pyromaniac, my boy on Twitter, posted a list of his top 10 arcade games. I want to look at it. I want to yell at it. And then we could talk about whenever there's someone's like, hey, I'm doing a mailbag for my podcast and I take in a question, leave one. I always say, you got $1 and you walk into an empty arcade. Where are you going? Because that really, for a young boy like me, that question stops me in my tracks and makes me schwitz a little bit. It makes me uncomfortable because I want another $1, right? Then we're going to talk about the worst fantasy team in the NFL. Not your worst, not your team, but the worst NFL team for fantasy, because there's not a lot of scoring going on in fantasy football right now. It's borderline problematic. And we could talk about that too. The number of running backs that are scoring, the number of tight ends that are scoring, way down. It's a receivers game this year, baby. People who went 0 running back are getting paid up. Let's turn this guy up. This idiot. Sorry. Stupid idiot. Living the dream here. I asked if I should get Chick-fil-A for lunch today. Everybody said don't do it. Why don't people want me to get Chick-fil-A? I didn't understand that. Don't you guys want me to be happy? There was only 9 votes. I post something on Boom Twitter and it gets like 300 votes, which still isn't super great. But to have it go up on my Twitter and get 9 votes, that is deflating. I thought I moved the needle. I thought your boy was a needle mover, but at this age, oh no. Bucks have officially activated Jameis Winston. You heard it here first. I don't necessarily know what to do with that information, but I know it's a thing. I know it happened. Man, I want to hear every second of this. This is bad. Hey, what's up, Tanner? Hey, what's going on, baby? So then we'll talk about Sunday odds because this is a really weird gambling week. My buddy is in a reverse survivor pool, right? You got to pick a team that's going to lose. And I asked him about it today. He asked me about it, and we looked at all the teams, and I didn't think it was so cut and dry. The number one team guaranteed to lose this week, especially when you consider how well odds dogs have been doing. The underdogs have been doing very well the past 2 weeks. So when we factor that into account, we can't just do the old survivor strategy of picking the biggest favorite on this. Do you want to win a survivor pool? You just take the biggest favorite each week. Hey, favored by 12 points. Hey, you take that Saints Vikings L and you're out of your pool right now. That's how survivor has gone this year. You had two overwhelming large spread favorites and they got the boots so fast. It's about It's about, oh my God, it's so frustrating. It's about what kind of person you are. It's about integrity. It's not about what your friends say about you. Then we'll talk about some roster stuff, Fitzpatrick stuff, Lions running back stuff. Jake Butt just got hurt. Jake Butt just got a non-contact injury. Dalvin Cook's back. And then speaking of Dalvin Cook, we're going to talk about the Vikings a little bit because your boy got hooked up with Game Pass this week, and I had a chance to watch Vikings-Bills because I feel like it was the shock value wore off, and then it kind of disappeared from Game Pass. I want to really get into that game and not figure out what happened because I kind of know, but I will show you as much as I can what happened and why that game got out of hand and what it says about the Vikings moving forwards and why I don't like them in tonight's game, and moving forward I'm going to think about them very differently. Ugh, scumbag. Then we're going to look at props tonight. I definitely have some props outright that I like. We're going to pick on slot receivers. We're going to take Jared Goff, I think. And I think we're looking at Rams under team total. Not Rams under, Vikings under team total. Shit. Excuse me. Family show. Moving. I did a dumb thing. I'm clicking around. All right. Steve Young say that Andrew Luck can't throw it the way he used to. I fight back on that. Just because Jacoby Brissett threw the Hail Mary, I think Andrew Luck is fine. I watched a lot of his game too, and he's out here making throws and running for his life in the pocket. He looks like better than half the quarterbacks in the league, which is crazy because we're at an all-time... Dude, I was talking about it the other day. I might have been talking about it live on the show, but we are really at an all-time high for quarterbacks. And we didn't lose Jimmy Garoppolo. If we didn't lose Jimmy G, we just got Wentz back. Sorry, Baker just posted about him. Baker just posted like a video of himself with Drake music. What is that? Jeez, what a slime ball. So we're going to take Goff. I'm looking at Vikings team total under, okay? I know Peters and Talib are out. I think people are thinking about that too much considering the Vikings couldn't move the ball on the Bills. So what's a depleted secondary really going to hurt the Rams with Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh in the middle? What is a Peters and Talibless team really matter? I mean, I know the receivers are good. He's got to get the ball out quick. My only concern is like tackling because they're lesser players. You know what I mean? Like it has little to do with like ability to cover consistently because I think the pocket's going to collapse a lot. You're already getting my feeling for this game. I'm kind of down on this game, if you can't tell. And then we'll talk about, dude, not only is this a big weekend for politics, right? This is one of the bigger weekends in rap music that we've had in a long time. The amount of heat that we've seen so far in 2018 is awesome. What's going on, Riley? How's my day going? It's going pretty good. It's busy. Thursday's always a crazy busy day because I make Good Morning Boom for Instagram TV, and then I edit the strategy video that goes in the app. So it's like boom, boom, boom. I've been trying to watch these proceedings, but I got free chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A, so it's a pretty good day. I snagged the PM coffee, so we're living a little. I hate being addicted to coffee, man. I used to really not drink it so much, and now I'm like drinking a lot more coffee, trying to stay awake, trying to be productive, and not having it and getting that headache. Oh my God, that is the worst. Nothing makes me more cranky than like a headache, because it's just like, why do I have to deal with that? So I guess my day is going good. I'm mad at that. But other than that, cannot complain. Good. We had a solid Good Morning Boom today. I was 2-0 on my picks last week, and I feel great about this week. I did take the Rams. We just keep hammering the Vikings today. Eric Reed got signed. It's a great day for football. The league trying to really help their blackballing case. You want to talk about collusion? Hey-oh. Turning low power mode off so I can keep the chat open. Oh, I'm so sorry what you've had to deal with, Mr. Kavanaugh. What you've had to deal with is so horrible. Get out of here, man. Sorry. No matter what you're saying, I'm sorry. I don't care. This guy went to Georgetown. I've been through hell. Sorry. I don't really buy that. The woman had to move twice. You have whatever. Elitism at its highest point. I'm in hell. All right. So I think that even if Dalvin Cook plays tonight, it's going to make the Vikings are going to have a really tough time because bad lines don't travel. You might have heard me say it in the past. I stole it right from Mike Lombardi at GM Street, The Ringer. Definitely worth checking it out. Bad lines don't travel, right? And even at home against the Bills, who have a very average front four, the Vikings were pushed back regularly. Right? And it was forcing bad snaps because the center's got pressure in his face, low snap, fumble, giveaway. And that stuff's problematic. The Rams have been dominating the line of scrimmage through 3 games. It's equal parts how troublesome the Vikings line has been and just how great this Rams front is. It's a combination of the two. But we're going to look back. Like, the Mahomes stuff is distracting us from how disgusting the Rams have been. The Rams have punted 5 times in 3 games. I'm going to say that again. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in for the real thing. Come on, baby. You see all this glory breaking out? Good Morning Boom, or a shirt to match? I know it's fuzzy. But I need to tell you this. The Rams have punted 5 times in 3 games. That's so stupid. That's so much sustained excellence in professional football. It just doesn't happen. The Giants have punted 5 points and a half. The Mahomes stuff has been amazing, right? The Chiefs are averaging 24 points a first half. I think I read that yesterday. 24 points a first half. That's insane. But the Rams have had sustained excellence at both ends. And they're both utilizing something I'm going to bring up on Sunday. The newest trend in the NFL. Because the NFL is going Big 12 college football. Like, we're all seeing it. The best offenses are spreading it out. Right? The number one new trend this year is the jet sweep. The wide receiver coming in, we used to call it like a reverse. The wide receiver comes in motion. It's a fast motion. It's not like a trot motion. The wide receiver, Brett Kavanaugh to be confirmed is minus 220 at Bovada. I'm throwing up. But I'm not surprised. Sorry. This is really crazy. It's just crazy to watch this thing. I advise you to have 2 tabs open. I'm telling you, man. It's history. I hate to be like, oh, I'm hosting a show and watching a thing. I mean, I did it last week and it had negative consequences. Zam! But seriously, the jet sweep, because we have these crazy fast athletes, right? And the Rams aren't just using, like, the Chiefs are pretty much just using Hill to do it. Like, Conley gets a little bit of work. But the Rams are using all 3 of their receivers have carries so far this year. And I say all 3 of their receivers because they play the same formation all game. Nick from DFI said it on the strategy show. You're not going to believe this. The Rams play 11 personnel, which is 1 tight end, 1 running back, 11, and that leaves 3 wide receivers. The Rams play 11 personnel over 95% of snaps. What does that mean? The Rams are getting their talent on the field at all times. They don't care that it's 3rd and 1 and they need to play short. They don't care that they're at the goal line. They can move those guys around and have different formations, but to have those 3 athletes, Cooks, Woods, and Kupp, on the field at all times means you cannot play more than 2 linebackers. You have to have the requisite defensive backs to cover those athletes. And when you do that, that means you are inherently undersized because you're not playing 5 linemen. The thing about defense is you're always sacrificing linemen for athleticism, right? You're going to play 3 linemen so you can get 4 linebackers on the field. 4 linemen, 3 linebackers on the field. 5 linemen, 2 linebackers on the field. Because you have to have 2 defensive backs, and most defenses roll 2 safeties because the field's big. It's a big field, right? And then we have the nickel and dime packages. 4 linemen and nickel and dime is 2 linebackers and 1 linebacker respectively. Because you need defensive backs to cover these super freak athletes at receiver. So if you have 5 defensive backs on the field, the offense has a size advantage. And that's why Todd Gurley is facing less 7-man fronts than any back in football. And that is one of the real reasons the Rams are so good this year. You cannot stop everything. They want to spread you out, and if you can't cover it, GFY. If you want to stuff the run, have a great time. We're going to change the play at the line. Not only that, if you want to play zone, we're going to run these lateral sweeps and get you moving and get you confused. I can't wait to show you. I got to queue up. I don't know which exact plays. I want to have it queued up for you guys on Sunday. The amount of motion and counter that the Rams are using takes an already athletic, explosive offense and makes them nearly unstoppable. Because you have to read and react. That's the difference. The offense is on a script. The defense has to react. And the more you can make a defense think, and the more you can make a defense hesitate, that is why the Rams are winning by a lot, right? So what does that mean for tonight? The Vikings' best shot is to win at the point of attack, right? The Vikings have to match up with the Rams with their 4 linemen. The problem is, I think Anthony Barr has been horrible. Another guy I watched against the Bills, horrible in coverage. The Rams want him on the field. Cory Booker's going in. Oh my God, I want to watch Cory Booker so bad. I'm not the biggest Cory Booker, I'm not a big Cory Booker guy because he's way too close to tech and pharmaceutical and too much money for public speaking. You know, that kind of stuff where it's closed door public speaking fees and that really rubs me the wrong way. It's one of the big things was the knocks on Hillary. But on the face, that's a real one. That dude's his goals are way higher than mine. Most of us. Oh man, good stuff, crazy stuff. So that jet sweep, fast motion, pitch handoff, baby handoff, faking it, fake the jet sweep, counter right. That stuff is all over the place this year. Just in a little bit of film I've watched, I have seen I've seen the Chiefs use it. I've seen the Chiefs and the Rams use it. That's why we're talking, right? I've seen the Dolphins use it with Albert Wilson. I've seen the Giants use it with Odell Beckham. I've seen there was one more like obvious one. The Dolphins used it. Dang. I'm like I'm shook. I got a moment here. Oh, the Eagles. I've seen the Eagles use it with Aguilar, but that's another wild progressive team, right? That's another like, oh, snap. Yeah, that's awesome. So watch on Sunday for that kind of stuff. I've seen the Panthers do it. I think, but they don't really have the players to do it. But you can also see the bad offenses not run it, right? The stale offenses. What? Whoa! What? Is this? Oh, sorry. Yo, I'm like shook right now. There's so many things going on. I'm sorry. I should be going live on Twitter right now. Let's talk about the Boombox, okay? The Boombox is your way of getting hooked up with Boom Fantasy and watching my streams. I'm like, um, there's a character dragged through the mud. This dude went to Georgetown. He's trying to get a lifetime appointment. In 20 years, his name won't be dragged through the mud, and he'll still be a Supreme Court justice. I don't want to hear it. I'm not supposed to say this stuff. So the Boombox I get hooked up for watching these streams, all right? We're streaming at least 3 days a week during football season and probably increasing as we get more and more serious, okay? So you want to get rewarded for doing that? This is how you do it. You take a screenshot of your latest Boom deposit. You guys load up your Boom account if you want $1,000,000. That's like a given. You send the screenshot to rick@boomfantasy.com. Right away, you go up on the emoji board and I'll answer any question you want, right? Then you enter to win the boom box and we're going to start drawing them periodically throughout the season. After week 4 doesn't mean like Tuesday. It just means this is the hype and then we start the rollout period, all right? There's a progression to this. And people say, Rick, what's in the boom box? What isn't in the boom box? First, you get boom swag, all right? I just did laundry. It had my boom shirt in it, and it took out of the dryer, and it was too warm. Okay, so it was too hot for me to put it on, and I would be too sweaty. So I'm not wearing it right now. But I got hoodies, I got t-shirts, I got boom apparel that goes in the box. I got boom swag, right? I got boom bottle opener. I got boom office supplies. You want boom swag? That's in the box too. That's what's going to make the box jangle. But don't shake the box because that will hurt the fourth item. The third is an autographed jersey. The third thing is awesome. I made it rain way too hard at Pristine Auctions. I didn't get in trouble, but I felt like I was going to get in trouble. I I don't want to give any of this away. This stuff is too nice. I'm not lying. It's too nice for you. Because you're going to deposit $10 into your Boom account, take a screenshot, and I'm going to hook you up with something worth over $200. Like, stupid. Stupid. When you see the things that are in this box, stupid. And then you're going to get a random bobblehead from eBay. And that we haven't even gotten into. We haven't even gotten into that. So lucrative. We'll go bobblehead shopping right after this. But I want to talk about the jerseys. This is a real jersey that's going in the boombox, not the one that's in the picture. What I'm about to describe to you is the signed autograph certificate. Marcus Peters goes through pregame tests, will be active. Signed, sealed, delivered in the box. Okay? Signed, sealed, delivered. This player, COA, he won Defensive Player of the Year. Depoy. He was a 4-time All-Pro. 4 years, number 1 player at his position. Defensive position. He won a Super Bowl. Key member of his team. Boom. Hall of Fame within the last 5 years. A recent NFL Hall of Famer. Someone you grew up watching, most likely. Because we're all the same. Someone you know who's been on TV. A famous person. I got their autographed jersey and I want to give it to you. And all you need to do is deposit into your Boom account and send me the screenshot of that deposit. rick@boomfantasy.com. That's it. We're going to do another one of these 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Super lit. Super lit. There's so much going on. There's like American history going on. And I'm over here talking to you, being a schmuck, getting my stuff wrong. I want to show you some of these Bills plays. I don't want to get in trouble with the league. I'll tell you, I got NFL Game Pass this week, and it's going to be a life changer. It had an immediate impact. Why isn't my chat loading? Immediate impact. You can watch any game in 45 minutes. So while you're like in this, instead of like throwing on The Office while you do something, you throw on Colts Bengals and learn something. Be like, wow, Margus Hunt really took over. Remember Margus Hunt? He was on Hard Knocks. Estonian. 6'8" Estonian dude. He's finally coming around. That's like a heartwarming story. This massive Estonian dude is crushing for the Colts defensive line. And the Colts, who were widely believed to have a bottom 5, perhaps even bottom 3 defense in this league, have been top 5 through the first 3 weeks of the season. That is crazy. That's one of my favorite things about the season. If you think you know everything, you know nothing. You know nothing. You know how many strength of schedule articles were based off of the Colts being on your schedule? Now it's a real defense you got to face with a real safety. Malik Hooker is a Pro Bowl safety. I said it. There's just a lot of safeties in front of him. But he's Pro Bowl caliber. And he's in the AFC. So he can make it. I believe. I believe in a thing called love. This is another rhythm of my heart. I believe in a thing called love. Whatever happened to the darkness? We got to look up bobbleheads. I forgot to do that. I forgot to eBay for bobblehead. eBay boo boo. eBay boo boo head. eBay boo bobblehead. Chat is not where I would like it to be, guys. Where we at today? I know Thursday, this is a rough time. If you're on the West Coast, we have a lot of California users. This is a 3:30 stream. And that seems like it's early, to be honest. I'm not so sure that I would necessarily watch that. A 3:30 stream. But hey, what do I know? I'm hosting it. So I shouldn't say that, really. Let's go live on Twitter. Let's go live on another format and double down and talk more and have something good queued up. Let's talk arcade games as soon as we go live on Twitter. So it'll say Ooh, I'm talking Thursday Night Football, but I'm really out here talking copious arcade games. I never got enough money for arcade games from my dad. So stingy all the time. But he always had enough quarters for whatever he wanted to play. Garbage. Garbage. I'm mad at my dad. No, we I I approached arcades all wrong growing up. I did it wrong. I did it wrong. I was a ticket kid. I was a prizes kid. You never want to be prizes kid. You never want to be ticket kid. That's a low, oh man, volume on my phone. That's a low ROI. That's a low return game and often leaves you with nothing. It's less than ideal. It's one of the worst persons you could be. Definitely the worst version of myself. Thinking I could get 50,000 tickets on $10 worth. If my dad had just said, listen, Rick, what do you want up there? What do you want up there? I'll buy it for you. Go play Sniper Elite. We could have been done. We could have been done. But because I was always like, buy me this, and it was like, why you ever heard that old joke where a Jewish boy asks his father, hey father, can I borrow $50? And the father says, $20? Ugh, what do you need $10 for? Here's a $5 bill. Go split it with your brother. Like, I wasn't getting things. So when I get to the arcade and I see what's in an arcade's prize haul, your boy goes crazy. But the money never matched what it would take. Nobody ever said, Rick, you're bad at the games. Rick, you're bad at the games. Rick, you're not good at skee ball. And that was my biggest mistake. Because what I should have done is just had fun. Is just play the games that are fun. Try to beat one of these sniper games or The Simpsons or Turtles in Time. Like, make progress on something instead of throwing wooden balls. Like, I was never going to be a skee ball champion. Wasting, too. Just bad. What's the one where you got to, like, the light comes through and you got to stop it? You got to stop it right when it's in your gate to win the jackpot? Never going to win that. Never going to win that. Oh, Kamala Harris is talking. Roasted. I think Kamala Harris is going to be our next president. I really do. I really do. And I understand why the people that are responsible for today's climate can't really see it. But it's like if you watch House of Cards, the candidate that was running in House of Cards without the thing that sunk her on the show is that she just doesn't have this stink of politics. She's Ned Stark to me. Wow, she is nailing him down. Lawyer on lawyer. I like that, dude, because not all these politicians are. So the politicians are the slimiest people, right? And for some reason, they know when someone's not really giving an answer, and they still let them slide. Oh man, dead air. What am I doing? I'm like stuck watching this, dude. Let's pull up the boom questions. Because if you didn't watch the video, there's a lot of... Dude, the viewers are plummeting, man. They're like, Rick, you're not freaking saying anything. Do 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 do. Ba 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 bow. So the spread tonight is 7, and I want to check on the point total. And I want to check on any movement, and then we will get to the. Why am I on pregame songs? I want pregame.com. He is such a pumpkin head. Okay, so the movement, there's been very little movement on this game. 48.5 is a cool number too, considering how many points the Rams is scoring and the Vikings' propensity for the Vikings, ability to put up burst points and chase a game, even though they really didn't against the Bills. I really want to take you into this Bills footage, this Bills Vikings game, because it was crazy how down 4 scores, the Vikings still made no effort to get aggressive. I mean, they might have in terms of the play calling, but in terms of the execution, Kirk Cousins had zero intentions of pushing the ball or making plays or trying to get I don't want to say that he wasn't trying to get back in the game, but it didn't feel like he was trying to get back in the game, at least to me. Annoying. I did not watch her testimony. Wow. What a scoomer. Scoom Baggio. Who's calling me? You don't know me. You don't know me. Don't call me when I'm streaming. I'm trying to set up a Twitter live stream. My shit's blowing up. I hate this. So the reason we end at 8 and not 8:20 is because I have to make bets. I have to make sure my fantasy lineups are locked. I get anxiety about my fantasy teams just like you guys. Did you guys know HBO was getting rid of boxing today? The entire... Oh, that's a DraftKings contest. I don't want to do that. Yikes. La 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 la. The top plays in tonight's NFL game are also my opponent's team in season long. Ha ha ha. Poor Jake Butt, man. Yeah. I just can't believe that they're like, I'm so sorry that you've been through this. I just don't. Ah, the sleaze of these old white dudes. Oh my god. TNF. Oh my god. This is so sleazy. What's he gonna... What's gonna... Nothing's gonna change. Yeah, we set it up. Look at this. It's a Boom Fantasy stream. Double tap to flip camera. And there we are. Good evening, Twitter. It's your boy Rick Rosen on behalf of Boom Fantasy, talking live on the Boom Fantasy app. You got to download that shit. That shit's free to download. You got to be about it. Get about it, be about it. It's a free app. We have $1 million contest tonight for Vikings Rams. 8 questions, $1 million. It's just statistical comparisons, you guys. It's not hard to win money playing Boom. That's why we like to do it, right? That's why we come on the live and we talk about it. What's going on, Twitter people? File in, let's chat. I want to talk about the best arcade games. Let me know what your favorite arcade game was. You have 1 quarter. You have 1 quarter and the arcade is empty. You don't have to wait online. I remember having to wait online to play Mortal Kombat 3. I don't care if that lets you know how old I am. But that's a horrible, horrible memory. Think about how popular arcades were. They've obviously gone down a lot, but every once in a while you find one. I have a recurring dream where I like go to the corner of the mall and I find an arcade. Malls are a big thing in New Jersey, but 1 quarter, I don't necessarily know where I would spend it, but I really I'm a gun game guy. You know what? I've decided. If I have 1 quarter and everything is available to me, I want to play Time Crisis. But you know why? Because they didn't just have guns. The guns had action. Like if you were shooting, it'd be like ka 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 ka. They had that plastic recoil, and then you had the pedal. You had to pedal, and that ducked you down. So you had to pedal to reload. That was the most fun because that was kind of a workout. You know what I didn't do? I never did the motorcycle stuff. The motorcycle or hearing adjourned. That's it. It's over. We're also watching C-SPAN, y'all. I never liked the motorcycle ones or the jet ski ones I'm just not a good driver in real life. So getting me into a video game to go faster was never going to happen. Was never going to be beneficial to me. I was never going to enjoy that. But give me a rifle, my guy. Your boy can shoot it. So I think if I had 1 quarter, I would go Time Crisis. Any version, it doesn't matter. But the gun with the action, that's the most lit. House of the Dead, I think, was similar. But House of the Dead, I think, was shotguns. You had to cuck, and that was your reload. That's like every shot. That gets tiring for a young man who has to stand on his tippy toes just to see the screen. I was a shorty. I was a late bloomer. You have 1 quarter. Where are you going to spend it? That's what I want to know, Twitter. I want to know how you feel. Where's my chat? Does my chat exist? It's lit. It's lit. I was a skee ball guy. I was saying earlier on the stream, we're streaming live on Boom Fantasy. I was a ticket guy. I was a prize guy. And I wish someone had smacked me when I was younger and said, you're never going to win the thing you want. Why didn't my dad say that? Why didn't anybody tell me that? Rick, you will never accumulate 50,000 tickets on $10. Nobody told me that. Why not? It still haunts me. But you know why? Because my dad was playing the sniper game. He didn't want, you could just drop your kid off. Tilt. Frustration. Degradation. No reparation. I would go Time Crisis. I want to get X-Men in there. X-Men had a crazy good arcade game, right? That just demolished your quarters. And The Simpsons had a really good one too. I think every single person that's a fantasy sports player also played the Simpsons arcade game with a quarter. I think there's a lot of overlap to those two things, right? I was never a fighting game guy at the arcades, unless it was like a big screen, the biggest, loudest screen, you know? But I was never, it was Mortal Kombat mostly, if it was any fighting game. But I got down at home, I could Tekken Virtua Fighter, but now I'm not going to put my quarters into a fighting game that some older kid's gonna put a quarter in and slaughter me and kick me off the game, and I gotta go back to my basket of curly fries. Come on, dog. But yeah, give me the gun games. No fighters, no racers. You know what was always so expensive and overrated? Blitz in the arcade. You want to talk about a superior home experience? That was probably the death of arcades. Blitz. Because Blitz was so good at home. And in an arcade, it just didn't feel like the same experience. It wasn't great with joysticks. It was 4 players. They built it like it was Mortal Kombat. The construction of the machine was platformer fighting game-esque, but the game required a lot of dexterity. What's going on, dog? How you living? The Vikings were a GOAT blitz team, by the way. I was just talking about, they got the new PlayStation Classic. It's like a Sony PlayStation that's like a little smaller, and it's preloaded with the games. They did the NES Classic, SNES Classic, and now they got the PS Classic. They could sell an extra 10 billion units if they just put blitz on there. And I don't care if they update the rosters. I want the 2002 rosters. I want to go Kerry Collins to Amani Toomer. Maybe Ike Hilliard if he's open in the slot. Right? I want those old rosters because nostalgia is the whole point of the thing. But I don't think they're going to do it because it's expensive. I mean, I understand why. But can you imagine? Oh, they're going to put like Final Fantasy VII, and it's going to appeal to where they want to appeal. But truthfully, you know how to get my money, dog. I'm trying to retweet this myself. I can never find my own self on Twitter easily. There's so many at the Rick. Why do they think that they're more important than me? That's what I want to know. Shawnee Mack in the building. Hi, Jibbo. Shawnee Mack's here to claim your girl. Mr. Steal Your Girl in the boom chat. How about that? Banned. I wish I had timestamps on the comments. But Shawnee Mack, what's goody? What's goody? Casey Rams Super Bowl. Lock it in. I want to know what's your number one arcade game. You got 1 quarter. You got to spend that thing. You got to spend that 1 quarter. I can't believe I was into skee ball so much. If you're a crane game guy, you can leave the show now, by the way. I don't care about your views. If you were addicted to the crane game, you can leave now. Unless you were getting unless it was like Audi keys in the crane, you can leave now. I'm done with you. But I appreciate you for watching. But you're good. I'm going to retweet from my personal Twitter. That's what I'm doing with my phone in my hand. And then we're going to talk Boombox. And then we're going to talk about Sunday odds. I want to get the contest up. Talk more about this contest too. Because this is what we should be focusing on. The questions for tonight's Boom Fantasy $1 million contest. Wrong button. Babu. Right? So if you're watching on Twitter, there's $1 million contest tonight on Boom. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. There's $1 million contest every night on Boom. Every slate. Every contest, even the second half. There's a second half only contest for primetime NFL games on Boom. That's something that DraftKings and FanDuel and Draft actually don't have. We were way ahead of them on chop slates, right? The 1, the 4, single game, destroyed them. But this second half slates, that's ballaholic. That's real stuff. Todd Gurley or Dalvin Cook tonight? These questions start easy on the Millionaire contest, but it gets a little harder. Yeet Street. Retweeted on the Percy. Retweeted on the Percy. Red face like my name's Jim Irsay. That's a rhyme, by the way. That's a real one. Yes. So we've talked about the good teams in fantasy this year, but I think it's important to focus on which teams are complete tire fires. I think it's just so funny how little fantasy relevance can come out of some teams. Like every team, there's like a little slice of this, slice of that. But if you have all the Saints, you're probably 3-0, right? If you could get them. You could have gotten them. You could have started with Kamara. If it was a smaller league, you could have swung for Michael Thomas and then taken Drew Brees in the 6th. You'd be 3-0. Without a doubt. Cruising with the highest points scored in the league, right? Especially when you factor in how bad running backs have been this year. Stacking running backs while giving a false sense of security has been disastrous for overall fantasy points. The need at the position has been created by a small amount of producers and an overwhelming amount of mediocrity. That's going to do it for Twitter Live. We're ending Twitter Live. Pop off, you know. I'll see you guys on the Boom Fantasy app. That's where you got to be. Exclusivo. View stats on the broadcast. We had viewers. It says we had viewers. Thank you, Twitter, for the viewers. Ended broadcast details. I don't know if this is worth it. Hey guys, passing touchdowns made field goals is one of the more interesting questions on the slate, I feel like. Because three is the winning number, right, in that question. 3 is the nuts. I don't see Cousins getting the 3. I do see a road for Goff to get to 3. And I don't see a road for Ficken because of the aggressive nature, the way the Rams play. So here's another thing that's happening this year in culture. Let's bring it in because I think this is important. I'm going to try to bring it in more and more, even if the camera's not focused, because I think it's important that you guys to listen to what the fuck I'm saying. Family show. It's important to me. We got this air raid offense, right? We got these new offensive coordinators, these new schemes, and they're getting big chunks of yardage. And it's the air raid. It's the Big 12 offense. It's Division 2. It's spread them out. And there was a really good interview on Davis Maddox podcast, and it just went up today. I'm about to listen to it, but I got the gist of it. With Murray State offensive coordinator, one of the founding members of the air raid. The biggest difference between the air raid and a conventional offense is in the air raid, you are calling the best play possible at all times. You say, Rick, wouldn't NFL teams always be doing that? And I would say, fuck no. It's a family show. Sorry. But are you kidding me? God, are you watching football ever? Yo, what's up, Packers? I'm missing the chat. Skee ball was fire. Boom chat slow again. What's up? Are you live on the YouTube channel? It says you're not live. No, we're not on the YouTube channel right now. The YouTube channel's not a thing. The YouTube channel is on hiatus. We want you to watch in the app, Ant. That's more beneficial for the Boom brand. I want to see you in the app, my guy. I don't need you guys staring at my face. I'm breaking out enough. I don't like that big zoom look. Be honest, if someone wins that $1 million contest, Boom's going to have to make some layoffs and cut back on that high-budget family show. I understand. I don't know. I'm gonna fight that, Shawnee Mac. I'm gonna fight that. But I will be bringing a check to someone's house. Like, if someone wins $1 million, I'm gonna literally back up a money truck to your house. We're gonna go on a nice steak dinner and we're gonna film it. Like, it's gonna be lavish, right? I forgot what I was talking about. I got so distracted by Shawnee Mac trying to give away my job on behest of $1 million. That's not how you use behest. I was talking about air raid. Gotcha. I put down 100 bet on tonight. Under 47 on the longest touchdown. Ooh, I love that. I love that. You know why? Because both teams have really good safeties. The YouTube channel has been seized by Google. Nailed it. Nailed it. I've been working on that all week, and I might have a remedy. I don't know. I might have a remedy. I might have a fix. But either way, watching in the app is the wave, and it's how you get down, and it's how you get rich via the boombox. Because what I'm trying to tell you about the boombox, guys, is that the value is like absolutely ridiculous. Because you're getting so much for doing so little and for doing a thing that you've always done. Because you're already playing Boom Fantasy. So deposit, send the screenshot to me, Rick at boomfantasy.com. You go on the board with an emoji. You ask me whatever question you want. Then you get to win the boombox, and that's the real prize. And man, it's starting to get cold, and that means boombox season is coming, all right? We had to get settled. We had to figure out what the season was like, figure out if I'm going to keep my job, and then we could start giving shit away. Family show. All right? What's in the box, they say. If you bring it to my house, we're going to spend it all. Oh, Shawnee Mac. I'm trying to do prop comedy, looking around like an idiot. I got this Chinese food menu. I'm going to roll it up. Shawnee Mac and I in a fog. Me and Shawnee Mac just in a cloudy... You're going to have to do this to see me and Shawnee Mac. We'll be in the kitchen. You go to the front door, and then you just push the smoke away. And there's me and Shawnee Mack listening to a smattering of 90s rap hits. Put it in the air. And then we go have a nice dinner. And then we hit the club. And we rinse, repeat. Because you're a millionaire, Shawnee Mack. Packers bet on it last week. So that's your regular bet. Under 47.5 longest touchdown. I was doing longest field goal prop for a while. But missed field goals are just so tilting that I cannot and will not continue to do so. Boom apparel is the first thing in the box. That's the thing that you can rep out and about most. Boom hoodie, boom long sleeve. I want a dad hat. You never know. But you will be able to rep Boom in the streets. Which is awesome, because if you're like me and you hang out with other degenerate gamblers, it's brand awareness. Then you're going to get Boom swag hooked up with swag that says Boom. It's pretty self-explanatory. Number 3 is where it gets really crazy. Because I went so over budget at Pristine Auction. It is so stupid. It's paid for, by the way. If you're a friend that knows me from last week and saw me sweat my Pristine Auction bill, I had friends telling me to ghost Pristine Auction, you guys. Telling them it was too much money. I spent too much money and I shouldn't do that. And they're probably right, but at the same time, I got some good-ass stuff. And then you get a random bobblehead. So let me tell you about this next jersey that I purchased for Pristine Auction. Signed, certified, and then we'll get a random bobblehead shop. This guy's jersey is signed and in the Boom box. And all you have to do is deposit into your Boom account and send me the screenshot, and you're entered to win. And I'm going to level with you guys. If DraftKings were holding this contest, right, theoretically, your chances of winning would be really small because there's a lot of users. Boom is a tight-knit community, a strong community. We're doing way better than those apps, by the way. They're hemorrhaging in reputation and more. We're crushing, by the way. But we know each other. And I'm going to tell you, there's not a lot of entries in here. You have a significant statistical chance. Like if you're entering jackpot contests and you haven't signed up for the Boom box, you're an idiot because you have a better chance of making money with this jersey in the Boom box than you ever would entering a jackpot contest. And the jackpot contests are crazy easy to win. Have you seen the Mighty Dollar? The Mighty Dollar is going off every 5 days. It's only 4 questions. By the way, y'all, Amazon Prime is doing the check down. This girl's really calling me. Like I'm live on the air right now. I'm not going to pick up. This dude whose signed jersey is in the Boom box for your pleasure. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Then he went on to win Offensive Player of the Year. Ayo. 5 first team All-Pros. And if you're Offensive Rookie of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and you go first team All-Pro for half a decade, you're a Hall of Famer, bro. We got Hall of Fame signed jerseys in the Boom box. You open this box up, and there's, for your man cave, for your wall, a real autographed jersey, real signature, stitch numbers, stitch letters. Put it on the wall. Put it in a case. Don't wear it. Don't wear it. I'm telling you, you got to get down with this. Especially Shawnee Mack. I don't think he's entered yet. Didn't Shawnee Mack say that Kirk Cousins would start with a rushing touchdown or he would die? He put his life on it? Because Josh Allen had a rushing touchdown and Kirk Cousins had no touchdowns. So what's the numbers on that? What's the numbers on that, Mr. Mack? We could rinse, repeat since you wouldn't have to report to work the next week. Oh my God, what a savage. You're right. If we win the $1 million, I'm probably getting fired just because I gave away too many good answers. Honestly, my strategy videos with Daily Fantasy Insider, Nick, Big Play Coach Jay, has a model that he runs that is statistics. And I understand, like, oh, a model. He's a math teacher. He knows what he's doing. The model predicted a Steelers blowout on Monday, so we all cashed hard. Steelers over, Juju catches, so lucky McLaugherson. But we've been consistently hitting on these picks, and they translate right to money for you in the app. Because even if you're not winning the jackpot on our questions, because the exact total yardage is finicky, we're getting you a cash, which is at least half the answers. We're regularly cashing, my guy. I'm making you money. I don't see what's wrong with that. That's all I'm saying. I'm getting shamed. I can't believe people were like talking me down from Chick-fil-A. Sorry. Oh my God, the worst. What am I doing? What am I doing? Truly, no comprehension. But if you're not getting down with the boombox, you're stupid. One of these weeks. Yeah, it's all about the models. Models will never tell you who that Cousins rushing touchdown though, and that's where I'm making my big hit. Well, you have to like put money. You have to wager to make the big hit. You can't just get a Cousins rushing touchdown and say, "See, I told you so." I am the king of quarterback rushing predictions. That makes you sound very silly, sir. And I can't subscribe. In fact, I might even unsubscribe. I need a cold drink, like hard. I might crack open a cold one. Let's bang the theme song. I wish you did baseball. That's all I bet on. We'll do well, Shawnee, first of all, I wasn't allowed to bet on baseball for 3 years. So I have a lot of baseball knowledge, but I haven't been betting on baseball. That being said, the playoffs are coming, baby. So if you tell me that we need to stream during baseball, I would gladly stream during a baseball game because baseball is boring. So let me know if streaming during a primetime playoff game is something you'd be interested in. Because what happened with the live BHA stream, we had a winner go for 10 grand and we streamed while Kershaw was pitching because he had the strikeout total, is I was like 15 seconds behind on everything. And people were in the chat going, boom, strikeout. And I was like, what? Like, I'm a full 2 pitches behind. So I think that would be very good. I don't want to watch playoff baseball alone. I would rather watch it with you, Shawnee Mac, and the gang, and Packers, and Denny, and ATL. And I'll bet on baseball. So let's talk about playoff baseball. The Brewers just locked things up. I like the Brewers as a live betting team because their bullpen is strong. You dig? Because in the playoffs, it's really all about your... Oh my God, my glasses were filthy. In the playoffs, your bullpen is so important. And that's where the Yankees are in trouble. That's where the Astros are in trouble. Right? That's where the Red Sox are kind of strong because they got a good closer. But it's so important when you get to the later months. Because every team can hit. Every team can hit like gangbusters. Trump tweets 2 minutes after Kavanaugh's Senate hearing, but not during. Under 0.5 cashes. Because he didn't tweet. That's a bet. Why could you not bet on baseball? Google violation. Oh, Shawnee Mac, I worked for Instant Replay for several years. The 2015 season until May, until a couple of months ago, I worked for MLB Instant Replay. I watched every game on my shifts. I watched all games at once. I will tell you the deepest, darkest secrets of the industry if you deposit into your Boom account for me. I will do a full AMA for you, Shawnee Mac. But when they put the headsets on, MLB Replay, I've met every umpire multiple times. I can dish the dirt on any MLB umpire. I mean, most of the time I'll just tell you they're a shithead, family show. But I've hung out with I've had beers with some of the umpires. I've talked to so many replay supervisors about the ins and out. We've talked about the road to becoming an umpire and what it would take if you quit your job now and try to become an MLB umpire. Because I thought that was pretty fascinating. Mostly because there's about to be a shortage. I don't know if you realize this when you watch baseball, but there's a lot of older umpires, right? There's not a lot of younger guys coming up through the ropes in terms of MLB umpires. And that's a pretty lucrative career. You know what my favorite thing about that was? About the road to becoming an umpire? Sorry, my microphone, I had like a wire snap. Not snap, but like the elastic come apart. There we go. My favorite part about the journey to becoming an MLB umpire... Oh, Shawnee Mac, it's tight as shit. Dude, I'll show you something real quick after this. As a umpire preparing for MLB, right? Preparing for the majors, you don't get judged on balls and strikes until AAA. Nobody judges you on the plate. And some might say that's the most important part of the job. Now, you could argue it's the other way around because you spend 3 out of 4 nights at first base, second base, third base, 1 out of 4 on the plate, so it's less important. But if you're garbage at the plate, you're a garbage umpire. I said, well, how many years does it take to get to AAA? About 5 if you're good enough. If you're good enough to rise through the ranks, you can be an umpire for 5 years before being told you'll never make it because you're garbage behind the plate. What the fuck? Family show? That was baffling to me. That was so dumb. I could not believe that. 5 years before anybody says, hey, you can't identify balls and strikes for shit, Helen Keller. 5 years. I thought that was insane, right? That's insane. So I learned a lot. And in the old day, umpires got lit all the time. Working down in the older days of Florida, they were walking DUIs from what I gather. They were just walking, talking DUIs. Just living the dream. Okay. Lifestyle. Let's check some props. Let's dig in. Let's throw the theme song on, get a little loose. I needed a drink, man. I needed to get a ice beverage. I didn't even make dinner. I'm going to be chasing. I'm not going to get fully settled until the second quarter. I know it. It's going to be one of those nights. That's what happened at the end of the check down on Sunday. I go right to my TV and throw Red Zone on. Kickoff has started, and I hold 2 phones in my hand, and I literally don't do anything for like an hour. I don't move because one hand I'm typing, one hand I'm scrolling up and refreshing and getting notifications and observing. It never stops. I fucking love it though. I love it. Love it so much. And it's only week 4. Yikes. Oh, I feel good. I just want to riff. Just do it to jam. Mr. Propadopoulos, they call me. Mr. Propadopoulos. Let's look at some props, boys. Ba 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 props. Poo 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 props. Ow. Lifestyle. All right. Checking in on 47 minutes. Props for tonight. Let's zoom this in. I want you guys to be able to see the funk. You gotta see on the funk. You gotta live on the funk. There's a whole lot of funk going on, going on. Okay, so we don't need to see today's games. I want to see Propadopolis for tonight. Can you see in the app? Let's go one more. That looks good. Minnesota scores first. That's always, I mean, it's a good bet. So I want to say something about this prop, scores first, because something that casual football fans don't always fully grasp is that the first 10 to 15 plays for a team are always highly scripted and highly rehearsed and practiced and practiced and practiced. That's why offenses can come out super sharp and then look horrible 2 quarters later. So if you ever get a big underdog on scores first, because it scores and not scores a touchdown, it's usually worth the bet. It's only plus 135 tonight, so I really could care less. But it is a damn good offer. If it's like the Bills were a great one, and obviously they did score first. No score in the first minute, minus 5,000. Let's throw some money away. No overtime, no safety, and no overtime. That's under minus 1,000. We've had some nice overtime stuff. 45.5 is the field goal limit. I mean, with Dan Bailey, he could push it, but I don't believe Ficken will make a long one, so I'm actually pretty cool with that in terms of tonight. Jumping on shortly with, oh man, I'd watch that. Yikes. Total punts made, they took that off the board. Oh, 8.5. You can't see it because it's blocked by my face, but over under 8 punts for a team that's the Rams have punted 5 times in 3 weeks. That's expecting a lot of punts. That's expecting a really high amount of punts. Total sacks is interesting. Total sacks by both teams. Goff can take sacks, right? And the way the Rams, I'm telling you, man, the Vikings defense is not, a Vikings offensive line is not good. Bad lines don't travel. Bad lines don't travel. That affects the snap. The interior of the Rams has 2 of the best interior rushers in the league. Come on now. I'm trying not to make this so complicated. And I'm actually trying to grab the most degenerate prop I can find, which would probably be the challenges first, right? The most degenerate prop you could find. Oh, turnovers committed. I would say that the Vikings definitely would turn over more, but they're minus 0.5. That's actually a good-ass bet. Kirk Cousins on the road, that's a good-ass bet. Largest lead in the game, over 17.5, under 17.5. Race to 10, total touchdowns. I don't understand total touchdowns. It's so fickle. Like, I just feel like there's no edge in those questions. Pace doesn't really matter there. Scrolling fast. I want individual player props up in here. Oh, I do want these alternate lines, though. 5 dimes. So the cool thing about MJ Sports Betting is they give you almost every single alternate line, like minus 30 down to even money. And the even money stuff is obviously can be a little bit crazy, but they offer it. So I can take Rams minus 2 for minus 400 tonight. And that's an advantage to me, at least. This one, I have 16, 14, 16, 17, 18, but it's just not good. Like, I would want 9.5. It's Rams minus 6.5. I would like to see what 9.5 would be. Rams minus 42.5 plus 5,500. Range of outcome. Here we go. Kirk Cousins, I want interceptions plus touchdowns. They don't have it today. Touchdown passes over 2, underdog. That's interesting. Plus 135 for over 2 Kirk Cousins totes. Kirk Cousins throws an interception, minus 160. We're all about that. Thielen pass receptions over 6.5. That's a lock. I'm going to go lock that in at my local. Let me make sure I write that down so I don't forget. Thielen's targets have been absolutely otherworldly. He got 19 targets week 1. I love that people see the Vikings as a money line value. Like, you know that team just got shit slapped by the Buffalo Bills. I need to let you know that the Buffalo Bills took that game away from the Minnesota Vikings, all right? The Buffalo Bills did not drive the field more than twice. They were very average on offense and got gifted great field position over and over and over again, which is fine. However, I need you to see, bro, I could show you a song. I make hip hop beats, SoundCloud, Big Sean Beats. I go hard. Shout out my dedication. Oh man, I missed a bunch of stuff. Really, I work for AA team. They have some rough nights. Oh damn. They always on the road. I get lit to the max. Yeah, dude. Oh, the umpires, insane. I'm sorry. I'm behind on chat. Sorry. I closed it. Bumble. Just kidding. Tiggs will get a touchdown. Diggs will get a touchdown. 12-1 odds. That's actually, first touchdown. It's got to be 12-1. It has to be first touchdown. I'll go minus 150 on a prop if it seems lockish like this, though. No Talib. The way they move receivers around. Cousins is targeting Adam Thielen over 12 times a game. Think about that. He's targeting Adam Thielen over 12 times a game. And I need 7 catches? It's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. So that's one I really like. We found one I like. I am legit too slow to understand these betting odds. It's off of $100. That's all it is, Shawnee Mac. So basically, if it's minus, that number is how much you need to spend to win $100. Minus 150 is spending $150 to win $100. Or 15 to win 10. If it's plus money, it's the other way around. Plus 150 is bet 100 to win 150. So if you just use $100 as your base for plus and minus betting, it actually becomes pretty simple. It seems intimidating because they get big, they get small, they go in different directions, but it's really not that bad. I'm so behind on chat. Sorry, guys. Goff, TD passes over 2. That'll push. Goff, a 41-yard completion. That's interesting because that's run after the catch stuff. Gurley, 85 yards, provocative. I like the Vikings front. I just think it's easier to pick on their linebackers. Gurley scores a receiving touchdown. Oh, I like that. That's nice. Todd Gurley scores a receiving touchdown, plus 295. I think that the Vikings have slow linebackers. Todd Gurley scores a receiving touchdown, plus 295. Wow. I like that. Robert Woods scores a touchdown, plus 155. That's delicious. Oh, over 74.5 yards for Bobby Woods. I'm going to slaughter that one too. So I'm going to take Thielen catches, and I'm going to take Woods yards. That seems pretty easy. Hey, they squeeze my skull. I can't do 3 hours of check down with those. We could talk about, I don't want to pull up Game Pass and like make it weird, but the things that the Vikings got away with, I just want to be able to show you like individual plays using the coach's film. We're going to start with the beginning of the game. This is how this game went the way it went, okay? That's a sack on 3rd down. And it's a flag. Right? This is 3rd down, flat front, easy, up the middle, rookie quarterback. Extra hit to the head, no go. And then they're at midfield. Right? Here's another 1st and 10. They're at the 27. They're in field goal range. It's tough. This is going to be a face mask. And it's going to give an easy goal line opportunity to the Bills. Drags them down. Undisciplined football. Now the Vikings have the ball. It's 7-0. right? This is the stuff I'm talking about. First of all, there's no pressure over the center. There's zero interior pressure. Now tonight there's going to be Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh. So watch. The Bills show a very aggressive front. And they come around on the outside. Cousins is going to lose the ball. He's going to fumble. He's holding the ball too long. That's another thing that I've noticed from watching this, is that Cousins is looking for the huge play, and it often results in a late throw or something like this, where he gets strip sacked. I don't want to go back and play this play, because now the Bills are at the 15-yard line. 15-yard line, and they go 3 and out. They kick a field goal. Now it's 10-0, right? So now the Vikings feel like they have to chase the game. They're looking for the deep plays. They're trying to expose this secondary, which is playing up. So theoretically, the Vikings want to go deep. But Cousins holds the ball too long and is indecisive. Outside rush, strip sack. I mean, that was just a good outside move. But this is his awareness. Let's get it, by the way. This is Josh Allen slinging it. Short field, by the way. Just the easy short field. We love it. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. Dude, this is a busted coverage. I totally forgot to bring... I need to make bullet points for this. But this is another easy touchdown. They're just setting Josh Allen up to make these easy speasy plays. Look at this. Watch the slot man. Watch the 2 top receivers and what their action is. They fake the screen with this motion man, and the corner bites. So this guy, this second man, because the front guy leads the safety off, the second guy is legit wide open. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this top man. How much space he has. Are you kidding me? Wide open. Touchdown. Barely even in stride. Not great, Bob. Not great, Bob. Let's watch this angle. This probably won't do it justice. But I'm just enjoying Game Pass, honestly. Look at how much space that dude has. That dude's all alone. That dude's all alone. Vikings punt. Sorry. Vikings punt. This is the Allen play. Let's watch the Allen play, because it is pretty cool. And it's going to be the thing that frustrates teams about Buffalo, is Josh Allen's a real athlete. Let me make sure the stream is still up. Are we still streaming? We get banned yet? Yeah, we're good. Whoop! Big time play. Great. That's what everyone remembers. This was the very next play. That's what everyone remembers, and this is the very next play. It's just about execution on both sides for both teams. The Bills really didn't do that much. He goes down. There's nothing around. The Vikings were only incrementally... The Vikings played better on probably 60% of the plays, right? Against the Bills. But the Vikings were not explosive on offense. They made dumb mistakes on defense. And they put themselves in a 27-point hole. And that's supposed to be my best team in the NFC? Hell no. I'm getting 7 points tonight for a reason. If I'm taking the Vikings. But now that team that can't play smart football in their own stadium has to go on the road against one of the best teams in the league, the Super Bowl favorite? Nah, fam. Give me the scams tonight. Give me all the scams tonight. You know what I'm saying? It's just unrealistic. I understand there's a bounce back thing going on, but there's enough wrong with the Vikings that I can be concerned. Bad lines don't travel. How many times am I going to say it on the show? How many times am I going to say what on the show, Rick? Bad lines don't travel, or you got to get down with the boombox. Dude, you think I'm making this up? It's the number one way to get down with Boom Fantasy. You go on the board, you ask me a question, all you do is deposit into Boom Fantasy on your cell phone, ka-cha, screenshot, send me your ish, rick@boomfantasy.com, secure, and then you get entered to the box, and we're going to start drawing that box, and oh my God, you're going to get to rep Boom in the streets. You're going to get Boom swag, always going to be repping Boom, which we want. Then you're going to get this signed autographed jersey from Pristine Auction you don't understand. And a random bobblehead. We're going to go bobblehead shopping, but I want to let you know on the 3rd, this is the one we did already. We did that one. This is the 3rd. This is the 3rd jersey I want to bring up tonight. This guy played 13 NFL seasons. You know him, right? His signed jersey is in the box. Whoa! He's on the cover of a Madden. He's on the cover of a Madden. That means he was essential to your childhood. Rick responding from chat from yesterday. No, I'm trying, dude. Can you do parlays on these prop bets or no? I don't think so. Maybe in New Jersey. But I asked. I don't think you can on some sites. I'm universally unsure. Because I've been using a lot of illegal stuff still. Family show. When you're rattling off numbers, I feel like I have a learning disability. Well, that's because you do have a learning disability, Shawnee Mac. I mean, that's... See, my chat doesn't always update. That's so frustrating. I can't answer your fantasy questions. Talk shit about Cousins now. It's the last chance you have to do it all year round. Man, I told you, Kean Fahey came on my show 3 weeks ago, said Cousins is the most overrated quarterback in football. Most overrated. Most with an M. Overrated with an O. I'm just saying because I'm saying. Hell yeah. 169 career touchdowns. This guy did it. And he didn't throw them all. Whoa. Whoa. I said it. Former first overall pick. Which I had to read up on. Because apparently there was a trade at the top of the draft. Which I didn't even remember happened. This guy's signed jersey. Authenticated. For realsies. Is in the box. You can win it. You can win it with Boom Fantasy. You win it with me. Get on the squad. Be down with the cause. I love it. Tell me you don't love it. That's all I want to know. Tell me you don't love it. And we won't talk about it. I'm looking at... I see stuff that's like in the screen but not on my screen. Provocative. I can't believe that Eric Reed's a Panther. That's the good stuff. We might have a guest for the last 10 minutes. I'm trying to get in touch with the Lamb Show. That's what I've done a couple of times while streaming. And Dago. It's provocative. What else? What else are we talking about today? We got half an hour to chill. Chill with me, babies. We got other Sunday odds. I can't believe Jake Butt tore his ACL. It's not that I was like a Jake Butt believer, but that does open up a space for a starting Broncos tight end because the tight end situation this year has been pretty terrible. And I hope I have this stat queued up. But here it is. Number of players with 50 PPR points by position. There you go. There you go, Shawnee Mac. I've done it. I'm a degenerate. Number of players with 50 plus PPR points by position. 8 running backs. 1 tight end has 50 PPR points or more. And 21 receivers. What the fuck? Family show. Sorry, I'm typing in the chat. Now you can really see how far I am, how far behind I am. Liddy. 8 running backs have 50 PPR points. That's stupid. 21 receivers. That's like 9 teams worth of receivers. Sorry, volume up. You can max start 2 receivers on a team. Maybe 3 on the flex, 4 in a deeper league. That's still half your league getting laced up with 50 plus PPR points. It's a passing league, people. This was great. Go check my tricks. Hugh Jackson on the Philly special. We did not steal from them. Please. I know that everybody wants to think that. We've had that in our back pocket for a while. Go check my tricks from before and go check Todd's tricks from before. I have no shame. Absolutely. I have no shame. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. That is gold. Todd Haley, coach of the Cleveland Browns. Oh, I love this meme. This has been an amazing meme so far. Dude. If you don't follow Pyro Stag on Twitter, make sure you follow Pyro Stag on Twitter. He is an analytics guy. He is a target and touch guy. He is a positional breakdown guy. And this is under center shotgun yard splits. Passing under center, rushing under center. So the Cardinals have been really good under center. And the Bucks have obviously been really good under center. The Chiefs have obviously been really good for shotgun. But shotgun has a lot of 0 plays. So you're less. You know what I mean? That makes sense. I had something else really good queued up. Ooh, percentage of receptions allowed to RBs. We knew some of this stuff. The Falcons give up an absurd amount of receptions. Jake Butt representing Big Blue. Yeah, on the injured reserve, he's representing Big Blue. The green is what we want. The Rams, percent of receptions allowed to RBs. So the Rams are just not allowing a lot of receiving yards across the board, receptions. And that's going to make it tough for Thielen tonight. But Aqib Talib's the nasty one, and he's out. 32 is a decent amount, though. 69.7%, though. Percent of receptions allowed to wide receivers on the Saints. That means they're playing a lot of man coverage, right? The Giants, slightly better. Janoris Jenkins represents probably 10% of that. This is most helpful for DFS, PPR running backs, and who to target for streaming tight ends. That's where this information is most useful. So the Colts are giving up 31% of receptions to tight ends. That's huge moving forward. That's enough to make a rando tight end fantasy viable. And the Falcons, we've been targeting running backs against the Falcons all year. So Christian McCaffrey was the obvious smash play when he went against them, and they gave up like 1 billion catches to Kamara on Sunday. So that one was always easy. I don't even need the chart for that one. I had something else going that was good. Oh, look at this. I like this segment where I go through my old tweets because I do think I have a pretty curated Twitter feed. Because I talk to a lot of in-the-know fantasy people, and they also retweet their stuff, so they'll retweet my stuff. But it's like, I would happily retweet your stuff because I would do it anyway because I want to support you. It's too late to buy Juju, Ridley, Kerryon, Godwin, and Galladay. But Christian Kirk is so out here, right? We didn't talk about this because we're going to talk about it on Sunday. So obviously, we're going to do a whole segment about Josh Rosen on Sunday. Duh, obviously. But Josh Rosen is out here. He's ready to make his first career start, and I couldn't be more excited and proud of my son. The thing about Josh Rosen is him and Christian Kirk have been going to elite off-season development camps since they were teenagers. You might not know this, but Rosen and Kirk planned their trips and their camps and made sure that they were always working together in quarterback wide receiver tandem. They've had chemistry for years. They have built-in chemistry, and now they're finally wearing the same uniform. I don't think there's ever been a case like this, where guys have been working together so frequently pre-NFL. It's a real situation. They have their timing down perfectly. Christian Kirk was a negative asset, dead space on your roster the first 3 weeks. I think now he's absolutely worth a roster spot. Let me refer to the chart again. Slow scroll. It's all about receivers right now. It's the year of the passing league. We are going full wide receiver. And if you're not chasing these numbers, you're not chasing W's. You're kind of like an idiot for not trying to do the trendy thing. What time does Miami play? I got to get that bet in. That's at 8? Fudge. That spread is on a big... That spread is carrying. It wasn't as much as it was right now. It's up to 18. Excuse me, family show. Burping's not. Sort by 10 biggest bet games. This is it. It's up to 21 and a what? Oh, it opened at 21 and it's at 19 now. I could have sworn it was at 14 this morning. So that disappoints your boy. For sure. For sure. Is this up? I got to get the app. I need a third phone. I wish I didn't have to say it. I need a third phone. Right? Damn. I wish it wasn't true. I wish I could get by with just 2 phones, one for the boom, one for the tweets. But I need a third phone, one for the boom, the tweets, and the stream. Tres teléfonos. That's the Despacito remix. Miami, not super interested in it. I'm not taking baseball tonight. Oh, Jason Vargas is pitching. Oh, it's always tasty. He was really fun to bet against at the beginning of the season. What an abject tire fire. Remember, you know what's always fun? April Mets enthusiasm. Bro, if we just go 500 the rest of the year, bro, we're a playoff team, bro. God, I love that. I love that so much. I miss that. But Miami, North Carolina is an interesting... What's North Carolina been doing it this season? Because Miami's kind of coming along. I would like to know who their starting quarterback is tonight. So Miami lost... North Carolina lost at Cal, lost at East Carolina, and beat a scrappy Pitt team at home. That's dice. That's interesting. I just think 18 points is like way too much. Here are 5 things UNC must do to beat Miami on the road. Embarrassed in its first 2 road games. Miami's played a couple of cupcakes, so all their point averages are off. One of those players is senior defensive end. Oh, return 8 players who were suspended earlier this season. Oh, so they're good players that were suspended are back. Oh, and the Mark Richt doesn't know which quarterback he's going to start. Why do I want Miami in this game again? Because my friends are taking it? Everything about that stinks. Everything about that absolutely fails the sniff test. Oh, Jay Vargas is woat. I don't understand why chat doesn't refresh. I have to close a phone and open it on another phone to get my chat up. I'm sorry, Boom. I love you guys. I'm just trying to communicate best with everybody. And I'm sure everyone feels the same. We're working on making it better. We're a rapidly improving product, and I appreciate y'all patience as we work through it. I'm just getting aggy because I've only eaten like chicken nuggets in the last like 10 hours. And I'm a man that I need to eat. Not only that, like I have to cook after this. Like I have to chop an onion, which sucks. Cuz like I want to watch football. That's how you cut a finger off. You watch football while you try to chop an onion. It's absurdly problematic. Vengeance thou be mine. So I can get North Carolina plus 19 with all these players back? Is that what you're telling me? That's just provocative enough to get me in business. Because why don't I tease it with the Rams and I'll get 26 points and get myself in trouble like I always do. Like I always do. Because honestly, Miami's looked pretty disappointing through the first couple of weeks. Tough matchup to start the season, but just the Rozier as a quarterback, such a low ceiling. N'Kosi Perry could be the guy, but it doesn't jump off the page, and he's played cupcakes. So I don't know what he is. But I do know one thing, and that's I got 2 phones. I got 2 phones. I need player props. Thank you. One for the dogs, one for the low, and also one for Boom Fantasy streams. Boom Fantasy live streams. As we finish it out, make sure you're getting in on this Boom contest. Let's open it up and solve it. More passing yards? Give me Cousins. Goff's going to be chasing the game, and he actually has a functioning running game, unlike Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is going to start yelling at his line tonight, I think. I think tonight's the night that he gets aggy at his offensive line. Shawnee Mack won't stand for it. Sorry. And we're clicking. Question 2, when you get to rushing yards, that's way easier. The easiest one of the night. Nick on our strategy video posted in the app referred to this as a through the legs, behind the back, off the backboard slam dunk. We talked about Gurley running against a light box more than anybody else this season. So if you don't put Gurley in that, you're not even a contrarian. You're just an idiot. Because Malcolm Brown's not stealing that many touches. It's between Gurley. You know what? Cook and Murray should be a bind C bet, and then it's still not close. Receiving yards, I'm a Bobby Woods guy. Bobby Woods for yards, Cooper Kupp for catches. That's where we're living this way. I can't live my life. Everson Griffin has no timetable for return. That was a really interesting story that I definitely didn't want to talk about on the show. It's just not the kind of content we chase here on the Checkdown via Boom Fantasy. But that's a really rough story. I hope he's okay. He gets the help he needs. It's really sad. And I don't want to presume anything. Most receptions. I like Kupp here. I could see Diggs winning this. I could see Gurley winning this. But I think Kupp's the most active. The Rams don't take their foot off the gas. Dude, I got cut off talking about Air Raid before. And I was doing the zoom in thing. But I still have things to say about Air Raid, okay? Okay. I don't want Rams minus 14.5, right? Or do I? I can't live my. I got 7 catches on my bookie for Thielen, and the Woods yards is 65. Oh, that's lower. That's lower than most people have it. Miami minus 18.5 is just so stupid, but I will go over 55.5. A little 30-30 bomb. I can't live my life this way. All right. Passing touchdowns, made field goals. We did that one. I'm going to go with Goff or Ficken. I'm going to flip a coin just before kickoff. I can't give you all the answers, guys. You could steal my $1 million. Then I'm going to have to take you to small claims court. Because that's a small claim for what your boy pulls in. W2's out here. Millie maker. a milli. And that's it. Then you're on to lightning questions. Brandon Cooks, for a guy that used to be known for volatility, Brandon Cooks, 8 catches, 8 targets, 9 targets, 8 targets, at least 90 yards in each of the first 3 weeks. He's a changed man, and it's not his fault. It's Sean McVay's scheme just changing people. It's like if you get really into the 12-step program, like, did you just join a new club, or are you really a different person? That is such a slanderous thing to say. I'm so sorry. I don't mean that at all. But Brandon Cooks has as high a basement as he's ever had, and 98's a great number for him. Adam Thielen, we talked about it earlier in the show. At least a dozen targets in every game this season. 19 in week 1. Even when they're getting blown out, even when they're doing the blown out, Thielen is a major part of that offense and will continue to do so because Kirk Cousins loves his short stuff. Kirk Cousins, Kean Fahey said it on the show, Kirk Cousins can do 2 things. He can throw it short, and he can throw it with everything he has, right? That's his biggest weakness, is those are his 2 throws. Kean Fahey told us he cannot and will never be able to throw an opposite field 15-yard curl route to the 15-yard curl to the opposite sidelines. He'll never be able to throw that accurately. It's just not possible for him. And that's a guy who charts quarterback throws for a living. Like, that's what he does. I don't get the Kean Fahey slander. Okay, it sounds like he knows what he's talking about, and that may be perceived as arrogant because he's an outsider. At the same time, he's charting every attempted pass in football. So if you're not charting every attempted pass in football, how are you to say that he's doesn't know what he's talking about? Because it's right there on the film. If a pass is completable or interceptable, that's pretty cut and dry. There's not a lot of gray there if the pass is in range. And if you fight back, you're making excuses for your guy. He said, people hate me because I talk about the person that they love more than their mother, their quarterback. And I 100% agree. You are predetermined to be defensive to what Kean Fahey says because he's unapologetic, he's honest, the tape don't lie, and he says it in a funny accent. So it's hard to be like, that's an expert. It's just hard to take a non-American's football opinion seriously. I think that's fair. If there was a guy with a French accent talking about basketball, talking about the NBA on ESPN, you would say, what are they doing? Get an NBA player. Totally fair. Totally fair. But that guy's smart, and he's A-okay in my book. Decent human being. Make sure to check out that episode, Worst Quarterback in the League. He says, and most overrated, you told me. I said, it says Kirk Cousins all day. All right, I got to make these bets. I got a lot of bets lined up right now, and I want to punch them all in. How much do we like the Rams? I like the Rams a lot. But I want to make everything else count. 15, 30. That numbers works. That number works. Adjusted line, we'll put that much on that. Remember, we got bankroll to work with because we absolutely crushed Monday Night Football. We swept the board completely. Units on units on units on units. Do you think I'm gonna go lighter on the Woods prop because I fear Xavier Rhodes and Harrison Smith more than I fear. Oh, dude, Alabama's spread is ridiculous this week, and I'm going to take it. You know, there's a stat about spreads that are like over 35 points. They cover at a higher rate than you'd think because Vegas just can't make the spread big enough for you to bet on it. That's the thing. I always get mad at Alabama's schedule. It really feels like they only play 6 or 7 really good teams a year. Granted, I feel like they do play some of the best teams in college football, and they're always going to go to the playoff. But I do feel like they sprinkle in some absolute joke schools in there sometimes, man. And you can tell them I said it. 81, 20, that's 100, 140. That's fine. Lock it in. We're in there for Sunday Night Football. Thursday night. It's Thursday. I have to set 4 fantasy lineups. Anxiety creeping in as we head into the last 10 minutes of tonight's ish. We didn't talk about the bottom thing that I want to talk about. We started tonight thinking about a historic night for politics. And tonight talking about a historic weekend for rap music. Are you kidding me? The Carter 5 drops tonight, possibly. Tomorrow for sure. The Carter 5. The Carter is one of the best, as far as serial hip-hop albums, are there more? I guess there's the Blueprint. It's the Blueprint and the Carter, right? For me, it feels like Lil Wayne's been a little washed. However, his ultimate redemption would come on this album, because the Carter 3 is just legendary. So if we can even sniff that, I'm not saying Lil Wayne becomes international superstar anymore where we put his tweets up on SportsCenter. He was regularly on SportsCenter. It's stupid. But it'll be interesting to see if he can creep back into the national, because he's a joke. He's literally a cartoon character. But he's set the stage for the actual cartoon characters that populate rap music now. There's a rapper that went to the hospital for eating too many Flamin' Hot Cheetos this week. I don't know if you saw that. That's the culture that the youth brings. But sure, blame millennials. Oh, Chamuk up here. Skull. Oh, he's skulling it. I just put a bunch on the scams. Skull. If I just want to see a chant. But they're the road team, my guy. You won't get any chanting tonight for the Road Dogs. I love me a nice home favorite in primetime. I love me a nice team with a complicated... The thing about the Rams is you have a short week to prepare for the most complex offense in football, man. I'm telling you, the Vikings are in trouble. I'm not just putting it up on the side for content, although content's king, my guys. You know I'm all about content, my guys. But, Jake Butt. The Rams are complex, athletic, and one of the best teams in terms of adjustments of any team in the league. They're the Super Bowl favorites. That makes it tough for a Vikings defense that really relies on Everson Griffin to rush the passer to make a serious impact tonight. And then there's Yandhi. Kanye has a new album dropping Saturday called Yandhi. And he's going to be on SNL. It's called Yandhi. He made an album called Yeezus, and now he's making an album called Yandhi. Bless him. Killing me, Rick. Chamuk, I tried, man. Chamuk, I would feel better about the Vikings. If I didn't watch the Bills-Vikings game. And I understand that we could just write that game off as an outlier. But there were major concerns in that, namely a lack of discipline, an inability to cover running backs in space, an inability to protect a pass rush at home. If you were on a date, those are called red flags. We should do a red flag segment. We should do a red flag segment on Sunday. I got to do that. I got to make a note here. Check down prep. I've definitely... Trap game. No. There's no trap games against the worst team in football at home. Get the fuck out of here, Chamuk. They laid an egg, man. I understand what you're saying. I got hurt too. I made it all back thanks to the Steelers. If you watch the DFI video, you know we had a major edge and we just max bet everything. But I had a miserable time watching Vikings-Bills, of course. But it wasn't necessarily a... Dude, you have to see Chamuk. What did the Vikings have to lose? What did the Vikings have to lose in the second half of that game? Down 27-0. Absolutely zero. And yet, and get ready for this, get used to this, Kirk Cousins throwing for 4 yards on 3rd and 5, and they punt. What is anybody supposed to do with that besides be down on it? It was frustrating to watch, my guy. If I could, I would legally stream the entire condensed version of that game. We'd watch every play. And you'd see just how painfully mediocre the Vikings looked. Now, I don't want to take too much away from the Bills. That was a playoff defense last year that thrived on winning the turnover battle and playing good run defense. And they did. But so painful. So painful. But here you go. Justin McMahon, who's a $10,000 Streaks winner, Daily Fantasy Insider. I don't want to say this before we close the show. Justin McMahon said, and I want to bring up the boombox as we close the show. If someone said, bet your life, bet your absolute life, bet your soul, bet your ethos that Latavius Murray will have one rushing yard against the Bills. But wait. Latavius Murray will have a 60% snap share and will finish with more than one rushing yard against the Buffalo Bills, blown out the previous 2 weeks. What would you say? Would you not put your life and soul on this wager? Couldn't do it. That's a major concern for me. Not that I'm a major degenerate and I would willingly bet my soul, but the fact that they couldn't get it done, and the Vikings have major red flags. And we'll talk about it on Sunday, because we're done here. It's 8 o'clock, boys. I'm like a therapist. That's our time. I hope you'll see you there. You know, even your friends that eat poop, refer them to me. Here's my card. You guys get that reference? It's a classic. I got to do 4 fantasy lineups. I have to make sure my survivor pool, I have a picks pool. I got to do all that in the next 15 minutes. And I have to chop an onion. It's lit. Take him out, Chuck. Good luck tonight, guys. Remember the boombox. Remember the boombox. Let this be the last image you see. I want this to be something you see when you wake up. Close your eyes and go to sleep. I love y'all. I'm going to send out a survey. We're going to talk more boom tomorrow. We're going to big time talk boom on Sunday. You know what it is, 10-1. Good luck tonight. Win that milli. I believe in you.